Alright, so we're going to be replacing the brake drums on the back and the brake shoes. The way that you're going to want to do this right here is you're going to want to beat on the drum until you get it loose enough and wiggle it out back and forth. Basically what you're going to want to do, let me see if I can set this camera down somewhere around here. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have this on there right there, right? Okay. And what you're going to want to do is get a mallet and just beat it on the middle, all over the middle and all over the sides. And if you're going to use the same drum, you're going to be careful not to damage it. But on this one, we are going to be replacing the drums and stuff. Drums and drum brake shoes, my bad. So once you beat on it, you're going to want to just get it from both sides, top and bottom, side and side, and just wiggle it, wiggle it, wiggle it until it just starts coming off. Okay? Now, to help you out, you could use like a pry bar or something and just kind of help you kind of wedge it out from one side and another one side. You know, you're going to want to do it back and forth, side, top, bottom, to just make it go out as even as possible. If you make it go out too much from one side, it could just get stuck halfway. So you're going to want to get it out as even as possible. Besides that, this is what we're looking at so far. I haven't started doing nothing on this yet, so we're going to be removing these first. These right here. And what you do with these is you're going to want to get either some channel locks or what I like to use is these ones right here. And you clamp down on it. And you clamp down on it just like that. Push back, turn it, and you see you got to make it turn towards where it'll release the tab, just like that. And if you can, you're going to want to hold it with your other hand from the back right here, and it's going to be this one right there, this one right here, and just hold that one just so it doesn't wiggle around. And when you can hold it, you can actually turn it or whatever. So this is the hardware right here, the spring, and you're going to want to do the next one as well. I like to start off with these first just to start taking these off. Okay, this is your hardware right there. You can take some pictures in case you don't remember how it'll go, but honestly it's not that difficult. Besides that, let's see, so we got these off. After that, we're going to want to get this star right there, and we're going to press back on this plate right here. And after that, we're going to want to start turning it. That's righty tighty. You're going to want to compress this as much as possible. I see some new threads on there, so I think I'm actually doing it the wrong way. Let me get another screwdriver. And again, press on that plate in the back. That's the locking plate right there. So you just press on that locking plate on the back, and you're going to want to turn it. If you don't press on the locking plate, what happens is basically it's just not going to turn, because that's the part that locks it in from turning. Okay, so it's going up, now let's go down. You're going to want to do this until you see it go all the way in, till you see no more threads on there. And you don't have to do this, I just do this to make the spring that's right here in the middle a lot less fucking strong, or take away some pressure from it. So that's why I do this first right here. If you want to, if you would like, you can start to just take off the spring by itself without first putting this one in. And then once you get this off, then you can just do it by hand. Right now it's still pretty tight, so I'm still gonna keep on doing it with the screwdriver. And it's almost about as far as it goes in. Not quite yet, but it's almost getting there. Just give me a second and I'll show you with the camera right away what I mean. Another great thing, or another great tip, is if you have some brake cleaner, I would highly suggest spraying this whole thing down with brake cleaner, just to make sure it's going to be all clean and stuff. Sometimes when it's not cleaned properly, it does start to squeak after. Okay, so I'm almost there. Almost there. Bear with me for just a little bit. Keep on thinking it's going to be soft enough to turn with the hand, but it's not. Almost there. So as far as it goes. So this is what I did right here. If you see before, this has some threads right here. So I pulled those threads all the way as far in as it goes. And like I said, the reason I did that is just to relieve some pressure on the spring on the bottom. Because with this being open, of course the spring has a lot of tension on there. So when this is being pushed back in, a lot of the tension gets loose in here. So next we're going to want to get this one over here and take that one off. Okay, let me set down the camera. Let me see what's going to be my tools that I use for this one. I'm going to try this one. See how these ones do it. Oh no, that one doesn't do nothing. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab it and I'm going to try to press with the hub, press against the hub to just give me some force to just relieve it. Let me see. Let me take these off. Take the one off on the other side. Don't lose no pieces. Okay, as far as that goes, we have all that released. Now sometimes what you got to do is you got to push it forward, and then with the screwdriver just kind of pop it out. Now this would have been a lot harder if you wouldn't have taken off that spring right there. Alright, so basically as soon as you take that off, this whole thing is going to fall apart. Okay? On the bottom, it just has one spring. That one you don't have to take off until it basically comes apart. Okay, besides that, this component is going to sit like this. The only thing that's really holding it all together are the springs. So you're going to want to put close attention to the way that these springs go. This one will be sitting this way. So we'll set it down like that. And this one will be sitting like this. So I will set that down as well to make sure. Now on this one, it looks like from this side, on the facing forward towards the engine side, which is this way over here, is the hook is going to go on the inside part, and on the back side towards the trunk, the hook will go out through the outside part. Okay, so that's the way that one will go sitting. As far as this goes, this is your emergency brake cable right here. So you're going to want to just pull this one off right here. Now a weird thing A weird thing I noticed on this one, I don't know if these models are the same. I'll have to check the other side. But these usually come with a spring on here. For all the other vehicles that I've done. Maybe not these. But okay, you're going to want to pull this one off from this hook. And then for the other side, so let's set this one down. For the other side, we're going to flip it around. It has one spring on the inside right here that we will be taking off. We can do it by hand. If not, then we use the tools. So that's the spring that I'll be taking off now. Okay. And this spring is going to be on the inside or the back side of this spring, bracket right here. Like so. Okay. Now if you see, this one has this little metal tab that's going to be coming out through this side right here, and this hole that goes poked in through there. And then as far as this goes, this will go down over here in there, and that will be the locking tab to keep it locked, to keep the star locked in so it doesn't move back and forth. Alright, let's get the brake pads out of here. Sometimes when you get the brake, I'm sorry, I don't know why I keep on saying brake pads. When you get the brake shoes, sometimes you gotta jump or move the hardware over. Sometimes you gotta take off these brackets right here. Mostly all the time you gotta take off the brackets. Sometimes if you're lucky, they'll come in a set already together. But this one, like another one of the other ones, we will have to take off the brackets to do that. At least it does give us some new locking pins. So we do not have to be gentle with these ones right here. So that horseshoe clip right there, you're going to want to get a screwdriver, preferably a flathead and a skinny one. And you're going to want to stick it in there right through the middle. And just start wiggling back and forth, just kind of, there you go. If you see, it released it enough right there. So now, all I keep on doing is just turning it back and forth, just take it in like this, right down the middle, and like I said, back and forth. What you want to do is you mainly want to lock it from the bottom side on there, and then push on the outside one right there, like so. Okay, now let's try a bigger screwdriver and see if we can open it just a little bit more, but I think that should be enough to get it out. Now once you get just that little gap in the back, I stick the screwdriver in through the back side now and pop it in like that. Okay, now this is a bracket you're going to move to the other side, and we're going to have that sitting just like that. As far as this brake shoe goes, this one only has one bracket over here. Let's see. So there will be these two, which one will be for one side and one will be for the other side. Let's open it up. Okay, so this is what you're going to look for right here, this tab right here. Make sure it has it, and make sure that it's going to be on this side, on the top. So if you see it's on the top, but it's facing the opposite direction. This one right here has it at the top and it's facing the same direction. I'm sorry, was I out of focus or was I out of the camera angle? So you're going to want to make sure that it has this tab at the top and that they're both facing the same direction. If you see, the other one has the same tab, but it's facing the opposite direction. And if you were to flip it around, it would actually be facing inside instead of outside. So that's how you know which one will go on this side and which one will go on the other side. Okay, so since we took off that, now through this one right here, you're going to want to put this in the same way that the other one came out. Now, there you go. So all I did is just pop that in there. Okay. Now at the bottom right here, it's gonna have a little spot where that locking clip will go. So let me just get the locking clip out. We have some new ones right here. I'm gonna stick these new locking clips in there. And let's see. Okay, so here's a horseshoe clip right there. And all you're gonna wanna do is slide it in through here, right at the very top. You're gonna want to take it and slide it right through the bottom side right there. Look at that. See how easy that was to slide that in? And then, to make sure that it's all the way in, you push it in just with the screwdriver on the very back. You see how it's at the tip right there? Now all I do is I push it to one side, like it down, and I just get like some pliers or some I like these right here. These ones do pretty good. And I just clamp down on the locking clip right there. And what that does is that makes sure that this doesn't pop out while it's inside. There you go. You see that now? There's the locking clip now. And this will no longer pop out. Let me adjust that a little bit. Alright, ta-da, we have it there, okay? And now, you can get a little rag and just clean it up. There you go, look at that. Clean up that brake dust and stuff like that. And so far, you have this part done. Now we're going to move over to the other side, or the other brake side, the other brake shoe right here. Now again, like I mentioned, these brake shoes do have a lot of meat on there. So they would have lasted, I would say, at least another good 4 years on there. But our customer wants to put brand new stuff in there, so we're going to take care of that. Hey, ¿cómo estás, bola? So, ya mero. So we have it right here. And same thing, you're going to want to compare and make sure that you have exactly the same little lip popping out, and make sure it's on the same side. Because again, you will have it on the other one, but it will be on the opposite side, pointing in. Okay, and that will be for the other side. For the other side of the brakes. So, we're going to get this one in here. Okay, now this is going to be pointing towards the back side, or the inside here. So, we're going to flip this like this down. And basically just stick this clip right here back into where it goes. Let's see. So I just went in to this little hole right there, and then basically just went in from this clip over here, from the spring right here to this side over here. Alright then. Just like so. So I brought it down like that. Okay? The clip goes on right there. Through the lip right here, it'll lock in. And then of course the spring on the outside. So this is the way it's going to sit in like that. Okay, and let's get the bottom spring. And let's put the bottom spring on this brake side over here. Now this one's going to go to the outside, facing in. And what we're going to do now is we're going to start sticking the emergency brake through here. Just like that. And we are going to lift this up and get these little rivets right here, the very first ones we took off, and we're going to go ahead and slide these through the back side, pop them through the front middle section, and then of course they have these little plates so that it doesn't just sit on nothing. There you go. Besides this right here, it will have a spring to make sure it's pressed down on. Aside from that, what I do before I get the spring on there is I get one of these little plates. It's going to be the locking plate on top of all that, and I just set it onto my pliers right here. I clamp it down just so I can be ready for it. That way, once I put the spring in, all I'm going to do is hold it from the back side so to make sure that it's sticking all the way through. And hold on 1 second. Okay, the first plate will be faced in like this. Okay, it's going to be sitting flat on the inside, and then the spring will sit on the inside of it, or will sit on it. Okay, here we have my pliers with the outside one, and all we're going to do is stick it in. Falling down a little bit. It's kind of helping. It's kind of messing me up when it's falling down. Another great tip would be if you have like some like pressure clamps or something. It would be great if you could put it on here and just kind of hold that there to make sure that doesn't jump up and down and stuff like that. Now let's go ahead and put the spring back because it fell down. Okay. So you're going to want to put it in and turn it, right? Turn it right, turn it left, wherever you want to turn it. Okay. All right. So now we have the other side. And what you're going to want to do now is you're going to want to put the bottom spring on there first through this side. I'm sorry. And like this. The bottom spring on there first through here. And then the bottom spring will sit in its little section down here. And then we're going to bring this one up over here like this. And we're going to do the same thing. Get the little rivet, stick it through the back, all the way to the front. Once it comes out through the front, we're going to want to, okay, so once it comes out through the front right there, we're going to put the plates on there. Okay, we're going to put that little plate on there, and then the spring, and then the last plate. I don't know what the camera's really aiming at, so I hope it's going to be a good video to help you guys out. If you guys need to do your drum brakes or whatever. Let's see, where's the last little locking plate? We have the locking right there. Where's the locking plate? Let's see. There it is. Where did it go? Crap, I lost the little locking plate. Let me pause this video real quick while I find that. Alright, so I found the little locking plate. I'm going to go ahead and set this one on to my get right there. I'm going to go ahead and set this one into my pliers right here. I'm going to hold it from the back, stick it in, press it through, and lock it. just like so. Okay. Now that we have this right here, the spring was sitting a little weird. Okay, so now that we have this in here, we have the top part, we have the bottom part all sitting in perfectly. So the bottom part's got to sit, the spring on the inside, and the brake shoes on the inside, sitting against this metal part. We have the brake, emergency brake right here. Besides this, we have the horseshoe clip over here at the top. It's pretty much right there. As far as this goes, let me clean this up before I set this in there. Okay, we're going to turn this, make sure that it's good. Turning. Now this one right here will sit on the inside of here. And then we're going to get the spring. It went from over here to the outside. Okay. And then put some pliers to lock it with. Pretty much the hardest part right here is just getting this one to go through. Once this one goes through, that's pretty much it. We're done. All we gotta do is get this spring to lock into that hole in the back. This one right here. This one right here at the bottom. That's all we gotta do with that. Easier said than done. It's always a freaking bitch to do this. So we're gonna want to get it. And while you have it at the same time, you're gonna want to guide it, because one will only be strong enough to kind of just pull it. So with another pliers, you gotta kind of just guide it to go in there. Let's see if I can do this on the first try. Not like that. Crap, I almost had it. Shit. This thing is no easy job at all. Let me get another tool real quick. Okay, so this is what I was talking about right here. If you can get some of these, and you can put it right on this side, around here, to help you lock it, so that this thing doesn't move back and forth. And that would be very helpful for you to help you get this spring all the way over there. Now, let's see. Alright, so best way to do it is you get the screwdriver, you get it from the hook, you aim to where the hole is at. So with the hook being maybe like all the way over here because it's pulling, you get the hook, you aim it to where you want to get it at, which will be that hole. And then once you have the hook right here and you put it at the hole, all you're going to want to do is just pop this, and it'll just slide off the screwdriver from, let's say, here, and just slide off and go in there. So that's the best trick. And of course, if you have something to hold it in, hold it for you. As far as this goes, that's that.